Hello, everybody. Welcome to Podcast Unite, episode 9. Today, I am joined by
Oscar.
And this is the special Nintendo Switch Extravaganza edition. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you were not aware, a few days ago, Nintendo showed off the Nintendo Switch officially in the Nintendo Switch presentation, and this episode is going to be all about that, all about the Nintendo Switch, all about the things that they announced. So this will be not quite the same as a usual episode would be. However, this will still be the intro here. We're gonna just do some small talking. Then we're going to go into the news, and that's when we're gonna just break down everything they talked about during the presentation and the all the press releases and the Treehouse Live event and all that stuff. So all the information they released in the last couple of days. And then in the topic, we're going to round up all the predictions we put out in the last episode and see who actually won. And then in the pitch, we're not going to pitch a new game. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to list some games that we would like to see on the Switch. I specifically have some local multiplayer games that are available on other platforms that I think would be a perfect fit for the Switch. So yeah.
Yes. And I have also made some predictions. Or not predictions, but games that I would like to see for the Switch.
Yeah. So how are you doing this fine midday?
I'm doing good, actually. It's really nice to have it's weekend, so no more school for now. Yeah. I say that, but I'm going to actually study a bit today. But it's good. It's good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. Just have had a really long break. I dropped out of school, so I've just really kind of taken advantage of this time where I literally have no responsibilities, and it's so fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of games. I've actually gone back to a lot of games on my PS4 to actually kind of finish them. So yeah, I've been come back and just kind of play games that there's a lot of times, and everyone do this in games, where you play a game and then you kind of finish it, but you don't really finish it. Like you have collectibles or challenges or something like that left in the game. So I've just kind of done like clean up like that and just kind of gone back to games that I enjoyed like a year or two ago,
Yeah, that's nice. It's like you forget a lot more than you think. It's like, it's like watching a movie, basically, that you haven't seen for a while. Often there is more than you think that you can like appreciate now that you actually didn't appreciate as much the first time because you didn't notice them or whatever.
Yeah.
It's good to rewatch and redo stuff.
Yeah, and I also got some new games. I got the original Gravity Rush remastered. We talked a little bit about Gravity Rush before this. Oscar thinks it looks cool. I like the game. So I played the original back on PlayStation Vita in like 2012. I think, it was like a launch window game for the Vita.
The year when everybody, the world ended.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, Rush.
We need to play Gravity Rush because the world's gonna end. No.
Gravity will fuck up and we'll need to have experience beforehand.
Yeah.
Gravity Rush is the way to go.
Yeah, so they released the remaster for PlayStation 4 earlier last year. Since Gravity Rush 2 was supposed to come out on Vita, but since since the Vita was just kind of a failure, they just let's make a remaster for the PS4, and then we make Gravity Rush for Gravity Rush 2 for PS4, and just say it was made for PS4 all along. It makes perfect sense. Let's just do that.
Never happened. Vita never happened.
Yeah, it just never happened. Let's not even worry about it.
Let's not drag it down with this portable Vita console. Let's just put it on something that will work.
Yeah, but yeah, so I'm really excited for Gravity Rush 2. I pre-ordered it. It's coming out next week on the 18th. So I'm super excited about that. So yeah, I played Gravity Rush Remastered. So I played through the entire game again. 100%ed it, platinumed it. Fucking amazing game. It's a must play for anyone who has PlayStation 4 or PlayStation Vita. It's
At
really
least
good.
check it out to see what it is, because it's pretty fucking cool, actually.
Yeah, it's super cool. Gravity Rush 2
I want to have those
has a
powers
demo.
in real life.
Yeah. If you don't know what Gravity Rush is, it's this game. It's kind of it's like a superhero game. You play as this girl named Kat. And she has a cat that's not named Cat. It's called Dusty.
This is so inverted. Everything is wrong.
And her superpower is what they call in the world as gravity shifting. So basically, when you press R1 on your controller, you start hovering in midair. And then you go into this like aiming mode, and you get to aim anywhere in 360 degrees and just aim towards something and press R1, and you will fly towards that.
Yeah, so basically shifting gravity to that point.
Yeah, so you're shifting gravity in a direction, and you can just walk on walls. You can use to fly, and all this different stuff. It's a really awesome game. The gameplay is awesome. The story is really amazing. They have this, and they explore the kind of themes that I really like in sci-fi, which is just time and stuff like that. So it's really awesome. I really recommend it to everyone. And Gravity Rush 2 will tie up all the loose ends that they had in the original Gravity Rush. Sadly, these are going to be the only 2 games in the series. It's not selling very well.
Maybe they will make a great story. It's like if you have a game that's not like selling enough to pump out games 100 years a week, maybe they'll just go for let's make a good game and a nice compelling story, and just leave it as a artwork or what they call a masterpiece.
Yeah, and they also released this animated short that takes place between Gravity Rush and Gravity Rush 2. And it's just really weird. It's just Kat and her friend Raven just eating food.
This is what entertainment has come down to.
It's just
we have now.
They're just talking about, do we eat too much? No, let's just eat more.
Yeah, that sounds
weird,
pretty
anyway.
good. I need to see that shit.
Anyway, so
today is all about Switch.
Yeah, today is all about the Nintendo Switch. So how about we get into the news?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll see you after this. All right, it's time for the news. So how about we just jump right into the main thing, which is the price of the Nintendo Switch. How about you present the price to me, Oscar?
Okay, so the price of the Nintendo Switch is $299.99.
Yeah, and that is the MSRP, so that is the suggested retail price of the system. Obviously, it will vary depending on the retailer.
I'm not familiar with the current prices of the consoles, but I think this is very good price. Very good.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely on the top end of what would have been acceptable. I think the $250 would have been the best price, mainly because just that would have been it's that would have been
really cheap.
Yeah, $299 is definitely towards the top end side of what they could have priced it, and I think they know that they couldn't have priced it more than $299. That's probably why it is $299, because this thing is packing some really, really expensive tech.
Yeah, for being such a small console that must be able to show games portable when it's not locked in its hub.
Yeah,
it requires some fancy stuff.
Yeah, so basically, I've heard that its size is it's almost comparable to a DVD case.
Whoa.
Yeah, so basically, just think about this for a second. this device is more powerful than a Wii U in the size of a DVD case. And in this size, it also has a screen. It has like accelerometer shit and all that stuff. Actually, it doesn't have that in the unit. It has it in the controllers. But anyway, the controllers are still super small. And these controllers, like you saw, if you've seen the presentation, they have this like super weird moment when they tell you that you can actually feel how many ice cubes they have in a glass.
That was so iconic.
That was really fucking cool, though. I mean, it was weird, but it was really cool.
I thought of that too. Like, that's the thing I remember most about the presentation. I like that you remember it too. It's like, how many ice cubes are there in the glass?
Yeah, I mean, when I'm just thinking about it, like, I don't think I would be able to distinguish how many ice cubes are in a real glass. So
this is gonna be the Switch thing. It's gonna be one of the new dank memes. How many ice cubes? And then
Ice Cube challenge. How many ice cubes are in the glass?
Can you feel that with an Xbox controller? Fuck no. Xbox, go home.
Okay, so they have like what they call the HD Rumble, which is it's more comparable to the HTC Vive Rumbles of what I've heard. So yeah, this is like a whole bunch of really, really high-end force feedback motors inside these controllers. So that's obviously very expensive. And then they have like next generation motion controls and all that. As well as the right Joy-Con controller has this IR motion camera. Do you remember that? When he's like holding it up and he says that it can sense the difference between rock, paper, and scissors.
Yeah, exactly. I remember that. I didn't understand what he meant, but
yeah, we're gonna talk more about the games later. But there's this game called 1-2 Switch. And this is basically the Wii Sports of the Switch, basically. And
it looks really fun.
Yeah, and what it is, it's a game that is all based around the features in the Joy-Cons. You're basically not using the screen at all. And there's this one mini game that's just super weird. You hold the controller up against your mouth, like a decimeter or two from your mouth, and then you open your mouth and you say, and the game will say like, okay, just hold it there until we recognize it, and then what you're doing after it's basically an eating contest. So when the game starts, you're supposed to open and close your mouth as fast as possible, and this is recognized by the IR motion camera.
Jesus Christ, this is some WarioWare shit right here.
Yeah, like, just imagine what fucking WarioWare comes to this console.
It's gonna be amazing.
Excited.
And I thought when you said there's this weird game in the 1-2 Switch, I thought you were gonna talk about the one where you milk the cow.
Oh, that's even weirder.
That's so weird. It's just like, go thoroughly. It's like, okay.
That's just the weirdest fucking game.
Look each other in the eye and milk the cow.
Yeah, that's like not even weird. That's not even weird at all.
But that's why I think the Switch will succeed. I don't know. It's fun.
Yeah, it's weird. It's fun. Okay, so what is actually included with the $299 base set? You get the Switch console, the Switch dock. You get both the left and the right Joy-Cons, of course. You get Joy-Con wrist straps for either Joy-Con. And what this is, it is not just a wrist strap like on the Wii. The Wii remote, it is actually more like an attachment thing that will give it a little more bulk and some more real shoulder buttons, which is a good thing. It'll make it more comfortable to hold. And then you also get the Joy-Con grip, which we've seen in the trailer. It's the controller that you can slot the Joy-Cons into.
Yeah.
And then you also get a high-speed HDMI cable. And
high speed.
And this is my biggest concern with what you actually get in the console in the box. You only get one AC adapter.
Wait, AC adapter. I know what that is, but I don't know what that is.
Power cable.
All right.
Yeah. So you only get one. And this is my biggest problem with it. It's basically like, obviously, like it has a USB-C cord on it, of course, so you can charge it anywhere. But basically, unless you buy a separate charger,
that's true.
You can only charge or you have a USB-C charger, of course. You can only charge your Switch in the dock or disconnect your dock.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be kind of cumbersome. Obviously, I'm gonna buy a separate charger. I'm not gonna disconnect my Switch every time. Disconnect my Switch dock every time I need to charge it while playing handheld.
Yeah, I guess that's the point. I guess they're going to make mad cash, and then they're gonna buy like the world because they're gonna get rich of this because you have to buy like another AC adapter.
However, this is now kind of unfamiliar to Nintendo fans. Like, as we both know, here in Europe and I think Japan, you don't actually get an AC adapter with new 3DSs.
You don't get one at all? You don't get a power cable?
Yeah, like remember with the new 3DSs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you only get the system. You don't get AC adapters.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now, I had the AC adapter, so that wasn't a problem. But
that's
otherwise, I've been fucking screwed.
Yeah. So you have to buy them separately, and obviously that's cost-cutting thing.
From Nintendo's part.
Yeah. So I don't think it's that weird that they actually only include one AC adapter, but I mean, it would have been a nice convenience if they included two, but yeah, that's the case.
So about exactly. Were there any more accessories?
Yeah, so we're gonna get to accessories just after this. So the Switch will come in two different versions. They're both the same. They're both the same price. The only difference is that the colors of the Joy-Cons are different. So in the first version, you get two gray Joy-Cons, and in the second version, you get one blue Joy-Con and one red Joy-Con.
Wait, it was neon blue and neon red,
blue and neon red. So this is kind of weird that you get like different colors. I mean, it's kind of cool because like, oh, blue is player 1 and red is player 2, you know. But yeah, it's kind of weird. But yeah, let's get to the accessories. So the accessories are very expensive.
Yeah,
they're very expensive. So we have the Nintendo Switch Pro controller at $69.99. And what's cool about this Pro controller is that it actually has motion controls and rumble, which the Wii U Pro controller didn't.
Yeah.
And it also has the amiibo functionality, actually. Huh, that's cool too. I didn't know that.
So
yes, you can scan amiibos on the Pro controller. That's good.
Yeah, it's a better Pro controller, basically. It has everything it should have.
Yeah.
Very well thought out.
Yeah. And good thing to point out, why this... You may ask yourself, like, why is this so much more expensive than the PlayStation 4 controller? The PlayStation 4 controller has rumble and motion controls too. The Nintendo Switch uses what they call HD rumble and better motion controls. So that is what's making all of these accessories more expensive.
Yeah.
The fact that they're using... This is like the first time ever that Nintendo actually uses really new...
technology.
New technology, right?
Yeah, because it seems like Nintendo is really, the other companies, they speak about like how strong is the console and how many pixels can we push out. But Nintendo is actually having a lot of things that are more like advanced when it comes to rumble features and just motion.
The hardware,
motion,
just like the hardware quality and hardware just functionality.
Yeah.
It's a lot more advanced than what the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One can do. But
and that
the PlayStation
brings more immersion into gaming. That's like you can make a lot of different things.
Yeah. So next up here are the Joy-Con controllers. They can be bought in gray, blue, red, and one set with one red and one blue. And I didn't notice this actually. So if you buy the console that has one red and one blue, then you can buy the separate Joy-Con set, and then you get the actual inverted colors.
Oh, so that's pretty nice.
in the set you get a left blue and a right red, and in the separate set you get a left red and a right blue. So yeah, so
cool.
if you buy the neon blue, neon red Switch set, and then buy the separate set, you basically get a red set and a blue set, which could be an alternative if you want to have multiple colors.
Yeah, the really there's gonna be that one guy who has like a whole red set basically. It's like a red NX, no Switch.
So, and you can also buy Joy-Con separately for $50. And yeah, I didn't say that. The Joy-Con controller set cost $80, which is a lot of money. So yeah, you can buy them separately for $50, and this is probably because you're going to lose these things. So you can buy them separately if you were to lose one, which is a good thing. That you don't have to buy a full set because you lost one or something.
Cool.
Yeah. Then we also have the Joy-Con charging grip, which is $30. And I think it's interesting that it's called the Joy-Con charging grip, because this will actually charge the Joy-Cons when you have them in there.
So that means that the Joy-Cons actually have a battery as well.
They obviously have batteries, otherwise you wouldn't be able to use them.
I'm sorry,
wireless.
that's stupid.
But yeah, but that is actually a good point. The fact, and they mentioned this during the Treehouse live stream, and that is that the Joy-Cons will basically just charge passively as you use them. The Switch console will charge them, the charging grip will charge them. So basically at that point where you're going to use them separately, you don't really have to care about their battery power because they will almost always be fully charged.
So that brings the question, why do we have a charging grip?
To charge them.
Yeah,
and to make it into a more normal controller when you're playing it on the TV.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so we also have a separate dock set, and that's $90, which is also very expensive. What I think is a very good thing about this is that you can buy separate docking stations. And what this makes you able to do is, obviously you get one dock in the system. So if you have a house, let's say you have a house and you have multiple televisions in your house. So you can have one dock at one television, and you can have one dock and another television, and you only need one Switch console. And you can go between these televisions and just dock your Switch between them.
Yeah.
And that's super cool.
That's so useful. I would have really liked that when I was younger and just use my Xbox on my parents' bigger TV, and then I had a small TV in my room.
Yeah, exactly. That's like, let's play a game together, and you just bring your Switch out into the living room, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
That would be so
and
simple.
It's so small.
Yeah.
So much better.
And then there's also the Joy-Con wheel. You get a set of 2 in every box. Since the left Joy-Con and the right Joy-Con are different, you can use the same wheel for both. So that's why you get 2 wheels.
So this is just for the Super Mario Deluxe.
Mario Kart Deluxe.
Mario Kart.
Yeah, any driving game, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are all the accessories. Obviously, there will be third-party accessories as well, but we're not going to go into that. All right, so here we go with the next story here, and that is the Nintendo Switch battery life will range from 2.5 hours to 6 hours. How do you feel about that battery life?
I feel that it's pretty good, I suppose. It's not as much as it needs to be, kind of, if you want to bring it with you.
Yeah.
I think, but it's what to be expected. I mean, we could have just gotten 3 hours and that tops.
Yeah,
but
6
hours is pretty good.
Yeah, something that was very nice that they said during the presentation, and that is that since the Nintendo Switch is using the official USB standards for charging, you can use any battery packs for it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so there will obviously be like battery pack accessories for this thing, and you can buy just standalone batteries and all that, stuff like that.
So like with Pokemon Go, people had chargers for their phone when they had Pokemon Go, USB chargers.
Yeah.
Now you can have that with your Switch.
Yeah. I would imagine there will be some kind of charging case or something for the Switch as well. Like some kind of battery that you can put on the back of it and charge that will give it a longer battery life. I think I'm going to buy a separate battery this time around. Get for this thing. So next here is that the Nintendo Switch is finally region free.
Yes,
That's
awesome. So good.
That's really so good. All the Nintendo Switch consoles have been region locked. However, the DS wasn't region locked, and I don't know if Game Boy was region locked or not.
Wait,
I don't think it was.
But the Switch is not region locked, which means that if a game comes out in, let's say, Japan...
Yeah, you can import it and play it on your European or American Switch.
So if it's not supposed to be like translated, you just buy the Japanese version. Or maybe here, if we're here in Europe and Pokemon Prism comes out in America and Nintendo says, yes, we'll get the European version ready in a year. We can play the American version.
Yeah. And I mean, the game that we started this channel with was Dead or Alive Extreme 3. And we were able to play that thanks to the PS4 being region free. So I imported that game from Japan. So if the PS4 wasn't region free, we wouldn't be able to play that game. And that's the same case with the Switch. So this is really good. Like, obviously, there are Japanese exclusive games that sometimes we may or may not want to play. So now you can just import those games and play them.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So, now we're going to switch gears a little bit and we're going to talk about the presentation and their Treehouse live stream. So basically, what did we think about the way Nintendo handled the reveal of the Switch? So, obviously, they officially revealed the Switch back in October with the Switch video. However, this is kind of where they went a little more nitty-gritty into the details and all that about the system. So personally, I felt like the presentation was unnecessary. I think that should have been a Nintendo Direct. I felt like the presentation being in Japanese really hurt it. Since this is a global presentation, it should have been in English. It should have been in a language that most people understand. But it was a problem that was easily able to... We were able to get over it since it was like live translated. But the other thing is that there were some really awkward moments during the presentation. The presentation didn't really show anything. Like they had like very few games, but the things that they actually showed were good, but there wasn't enough there. Like if you look at the games, which we're going to do later, like there's so few amount of games for the system, which is worrying a little bit. But anyway, what do you think? What did you feel about the presentation?
Yeah, when I watched the presentation, I thought it was really good. I felt it was like, even though it wasn't Japanese, it was kind of very broad. It felt like Nintendo was really aiming to bring the whole, like the world together, like all people. It felt like they were a really serious, serious competitions. It feels like they're really stepping up their game and inviting everyone to try their gaming applications, like people who had not been gaming before, and just like it just felt really accessible somehow, and it felt like they were. It felt really professional.
That's my biggest problem with the presentation. I don't know why did they have to be so serious about it? Like, it's a fucking video game. Like, why do you have to be this serious about the shit?
Yeah.
Like there's like, oh, this is so serious and oh, we gotta have these interactive applications or whatever. Like they used the fucking the most professional name they could have found for everything they used in this presentation. And like, why?
Yeah.
This is a fucking game console. This is supposed to be fun. Games are supposed to be fun. And you're making this thing look like it's a fucking spreadsheet. Like, it's the way they showed it off, it just wasn't fun. And
But then again, it's like Nintendo has always had the fun aspect. It's like already they have already sold to that to those people who want that. It's like now they are trying to impress people who think that Nintendo is just a console that they only do kiddie stuff.
But I don't know. Like the thing is, like this presentation was obviously in charge by Nintendo of Japan, and every comedic thing that we've seen about Nintendo comes from Nintendo of America. So,
Yeah.
and obviously the Nintendo Directs are in charge by Nintendo of America and mainly and all this stuff. You got Reggie and you got Bill Trinan and all these people on the Nintendo of America team. And obviously, like the only times when the people from Japan are actually in kind of comedic situations are when they are with the people from Nintendo of America. So like Shigeru Miyamoto and Eiji Onoma, when they were like, oh, when's Zelda coming out? And they were like, we don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, like Nintendo of Japan would have never let him do that shit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So yeah, however, when we actually left the presentation and we started seeing everything on its own and we started seeing the Treehouse live stream and the press releases and that extremely hilarious parental controls video, we see that Nintendo is fun and this presentation wasn't.
But I think that this presentation was almost more pointed towards developers also than the users. It felt like they were actively trying to make people get a good grip of what the system is capable of. It wasn't really about. I mean, it felt like they were really just selling the Switch more.
Yeah.
And getting people to develop for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit. Obviously, it was fine. It was a fine presentation, but it should have just been fun. I personally think, and you obviously with the presentation, you get all these awkward moments where, like, all the people that are actually sitting in the room, they're like serious business people and games media and that stuff. Like, this is not like some kind of stand-up comedy or some kind of acting thing, like, you know, where you're supposed to make a performance. Like, this is a presentation. And when you see like the Splatoon 2 guy and he's standing there talking about Splatoon 2 like it's some fucking scientific report.
Yeah.
Like,
that was pretty funny though.
Yeah, and he makes that weird pose and
several times, and like everybody was just silent. I thought, are they going to clap or something? But everybody was just silent, and he still continued.
Yeah, and like that's you can just see, like, if this was a Nintendo Direct, that would have been so much better. That would have fit in perfectly.
But let's be honest, Nintendo Directs are very much aimed at people who already are very familiar with Nintendo. It's aimed at
but this presentation was supposed to be as well. Like, no one watched this presentation unless they knew about the Switch.
But this presentation, I think it was very grandiose. It was very grand, and people like from every, like everyone can watch this. And if they don't know Nintendo, they'll watch this and they'll be like, "Yeah, those are a big company. They can." Okay, that sounds really weird, but it feels like people who are not like already sold over a Nintendo product will enjoy this more than a Nintendo Direct.
I get what you mean, but
wouldn't work.
Basically, like, if that's your like your definition for a company that is serious, by just showing their balls. Like that's all like, oh, we have money. Look at this big thing.
Yeah.
You know, like that's not what matters. I feel like when you see these like Nintendo Direct videos and they're funny and they're quick. They're like okay, here's 1 and here's 2, here's 3, here's 4, here's 5. You know, like they just like get to the point all the time. And with this presentation was like, here's 1.
Yeah.
Here's 2. You know, like it was just a lot of filler that didn't need to be there. And with a presentation,
let's be honest, because it's like the Nintendo Wii U. There has been a Wii U era now.
yeah,
And the Nintendo Direct is a part of that Wii U era. And now they need to do new things to bring in a new audience, basically. And I think that's what Nintendo is doing. They're shedding their old, let's say, their old
they are
image.
still doing directs though. They announced the Fire Emblem Direct.
Yeah, but it's still, they're like trying to get new people in, and they're getting into the mobile market. They are going very grand with this Nintendo Switch announce.
Yeah.
So it feels like they're really trying to step up their game, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I get what they're trying to do with it, but I just feel like they failed going there. Anyway, let's move on. I really liked the Treehouse live stream though. That was really nice. Anyway, let's move on. So the next story we have here is the Nintendo Switch game cases. What do you think about how they look? What they look like?
The Nintendo Switch game cases.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at them now. I haven't seen them, but it's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
And the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's a nice box art. Maybe I'll put up some pictures on the screen right now. I don't know. Anyway, so what I really like about, what I don't like about these cases is that they seem to be thinner. They seem to be shorter than a standard DVD or Blu-ray case.
Yeah, there seem to be. Do you mean like the width of
narrow?
them?
They seem to be narrower.
Yeah,
and
they're
I
really
don't like
long.
that because that's gonna make everything look so weird in your in your bookcase or whatever.
The images, the art is really good.
Yeah, I mean they look really beautiful. I think they should have been red. They should have totally been red. I don't know why they're not red.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fine design. They kind of look like PSP cases.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see more when they actually come out.
I haven't really thought about how they would look like, and it's really surprising that they're not like the same width as normal DVD cases. And I haven't really been thinking about Switch when it comes to games either, if it's going to be discs or if it's going to be cartridges or... I mean nowadays most people download.
There are cartridges. We know they're kind of 3DS style cartridges.
Okay.
Actually more PS Vita style cartridges, to be honest. Called
but
game
that's
cards.
Refreshing.
Yeah. So let's move on to the actual games for the system, which is actually what's important. So obviously we have The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. They showed off a lot of new footage for the Switch version of the game, and it looks fucking beautiful. And they also showed off special editions for Breath of the Wild. So they showed off the special edition and the master edition. So the special edition includes, let's see, the special edition includes the game, obviously. It includes a 24-song soundtrack, a Sheikah Eye collectible coin, a Nintendo Switch Sheikah Slate carrying case, a Relic of Hyrule Calamity Ganon tapestry, and weather-worn map. So that's what the special edition includes, and the master edition includes all that plus a master sword statue.
So what do you think about this?
I want it. It's expensive, but I can't buy it. I wanted it expensive, and I can't buy it.
That's a good summary
Case
of
in
it.
point. So it looks really cool. Obviously, the game looks awesome. I'm definitely gonna buy the game. I'm probably not gonna buy this special edition. But
Even though it's awesome.
Yeah. And also some more information about Zelda Breath of the Wild is that the file size will be 13.4 gigabytes on Nintendo Switch. So it will take up about a third, a little more than a third of the internal memory of the Switch, which is 32 gigabytes, by the way, expandable with micro SD XC cards. So I think the biggest, if you're within a reasonable pricing, I think the largest micro SD card is at 256 gigabytes.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. It's good enough for most people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's gonna be epic.
Yeah, but you know what's gonna be more epic?
What's gonna be more epic?
Super Mario Odyssey! Woohoo!
Taking points from Old Greek. Now they're doing a Super Mario Odyssey where you have to fight Cyclopses and ride through Old Greek.
No, actually not. Super Mario Odyssey takes place in New Donk City.
Fuck. Yeah.
So yeah, if you
New
haven't-
Donk City. Yeah.
Yeah, it's New Donk City. Yeah, so Super Mario Odyssey is the new 3D Mario game that we saw in the Switch video. It will come out in holiday 2017, which is I think it's a very appropriate point to release a Mario game.
Yeah, everybody's gonna buy it that has a Switch. It's gonna be the most sold Wii game.
It's also going to be a very good system seller. This game is definitely going to sell Switch consoles as well.
Yeah. Especially if you've seen the trailers and everything, because it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it looks super cool. So yeah, it looks awesome. The only thing I don't like about it is that there is this kind of real life section of the game where that takes place in like the real world in New Donk City.
New Donk City.
And there are real people walking around. And I'm getting some really not satisfactory Sonic Adventure vibes about it. And I don't want this to be the Sonic Adventure of the Mario franchise.
But if we pause the trailer at about, let's say, 40 seconds, we see Mario jumping off a building like he's gonna suicide. And luckily, I don't think he's gonna suicide. But what we see is that New Donk City is actually only a small platform or something. It's
yeah, it's got these edges on it, and it's gonna be interesting to see what that is all about.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's not only in New Donk City. It also takes place in these very colorful and imaginable worlds where like there's like this desert area that looks like Mexico. Or like a very stereotypical version of Mexico.
There is this very great wall in the background. No. Yeah, basically, I think the main concept was that Mario is branching out of his dimension or something of Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah, like after the Super Mario Galaxy, everyone was like, oh, what's the next step? Like Super Mario Universe? And obviously by now we know it's dimension jumping.
Yeah, exactly. This like, it probably has realism in it and also has non-realism in it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be several worlds. I think it's kind of like Super Mario 64 when I saw it. Because,
yeah, they did say that this game is going to be a lot more akin to Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine. It's going to be a big sandbox game. There are going to be these hub worlds and like worlds with multiple objectives and all that stuff. So I'm super excited about that. That's exactly what I wanted from this game. The only thing I hope is that the real world thing about this game is not weird. I hope they do it in a good way and all that stuff. Because that's the only worry I have about the game, that we're going to get a new Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, and I thought about Sonic Adventure 2 when I saw this trailer, and I really think that they're making the right moves. It's like Nintendo is actually avoiding the mistakes that Sega did. And I think it's going to work.
Are they though?
I think so.
All right.
There can be miracles when you believe.
So let's talk about the lineup of games for the Nintendo Switch other than Zelda and Mario. So we have the launch lineup of games, which is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, 1-2 Switch, Super Bomberman R, Skylanders Imaginators, and Just Dance 2017. It's a very weak lineup, I think. But obviously Zelda headlines the lineup and everyone's going to buy Zelda. I don't think anyone's going to buy the Switch and not buy Zelda.
Yeah.
At least until more games comes out. Like if you're buying it in the launch period, you're not going to buy anything else than Zelda, probably.
Super Bomberman. You're going to buy Super Bomberman, right?
Actually, Super Bomberman looks pretty cool, but I don't know. That's going to be if I'm getting really desperate for games. 1-2 Switch looks cool, but if that's a full price game, I don't know if that's worth like $60.
I hope they include it like they did in the
They're not.
Wii.
It's not a packing game.
That's really sad because
this should have been a
Wii
packing
did
game. It should have totally been a packing game.
Yeah,
it's a perfect packing game.
Because Wii Sport, it's the most sold game basically, and it's because it came with the Wii and the Wii. And the Wii Sports. It's like people bought the Wii and they played the Wii Sports and maybe they didn't even buy another game. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good enough.
Should have come with the system. So yeah, here we all have some other major releases. So maybe I'll put this picture up on screen as well. So yeah, they have a lot of they put up this picture on Twitter with like the major releases for the system. So in March we have Snipper Clips, which looks like a really cool game actually. We have Fast RMX, Fast Remix maybe. It looks like Fast what's it called? Fast Racing Neo.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Okay, I have a news story here. So following in the footsteps of Fast Racing Neo, Fast Remix has been announced for Nintendo Switch. Revealed as part of the Nintendo Switch showcase. Fast Remix will release on the Switch. Though no official blah 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 been revealed. Feature 15 vehicles. Blah blah. Run at 1080p 60 FPS. Yeah, it seems like just kind of a remixed version of Fast Racing Neo on Nintendo Wii U.
Yeah.
All right. So next up we have Has-Been Heroes, which is this roguelike RPG made by the people behind Trine. Looks alright, not my kind of game. Then we also have on April 28th we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is probably one of the games I'm most excited for because I fucking love Mario Kart.
Yeah, it's gonna be epic.
Yeah, this is kind of what was rumored prior to the reveal of the Switch. Like there were rumors that there were gonna be like enhanced ports of Wii U games, and this is one of those games. This is basically like This is Mario Kart 8 on Wii U with new stuff, and it runs better. It runs in 1080p 60 FPS in all moments of the game except when you're playing portably, which is 720p 60 FPS. And if you don't know, with the Wii U version ran in 720p and it ran in 60 FPS with 1 or 2 players and 30 FPS with 3 or 4 players. And basically the Switch runs in 60 FPS at all times. They also have a new real battle mode instead of the fucking half-assed battle mode they did in the original game. They have the Inklings, they have King Boo, Dry Bones, and Bowser Jr. So yeah, this looks like an awesome version of Mario Kart 8. And if you didn't play Mario Kart 8 on Wii U, or if you did play Mario Kart 8 on Wii U, this seems like something that is worth buying for whether you played it or not.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so we also have the Spring 2017 window, which is ARMS. ARMS is one of the new IPs announced by Nintendo. It's like this boxing game with people that have like springs for arms.
Yeah, it looks really cool. It's like, kind of looks like what's it called, Pokken Tournament, but it looks a lot more fun and just like it's looks really colorful and nice.
Yeah, my biggest issue, my weirdest thing about the game is why isn't this a Punch Out game?
But I think it's good. Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
Yeah,
with what you say, but
I think it
still
should have been a Punch Out game, like Punch Out Springs.
Punch Out Springs. That pretty much is what you do. You punch and your arms become springs.
Yeah, it looks alright. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it or not. I'm not really much for motion controls. It's also.
I think that should have been a launch title. I think that Mario Kart should have been a launch title. I think that ARMS should have been a launch title.
Yep, that's pretty much right. So yeah, other Spring 2017 games are Disgaea 5 Complete, Puyo Puyo Tetris, and Rhyme.
A rhyme?
So if you don't know what do you know what Puyo Puyo Tetris is?
No.
So Puyo Puyo is like this Sega owned puzzle game, it's similar to Tetris. So this is basically Puyo Puyo cross Tetris, and
they were already similar.
Yeah, so basically, like you play Tetris one moment, and then it switches, and you start playing Puyo Puyo instead. I haven't seen much of it, but it looks weird. All right, so we got
If you
summer.
don't get it, we don't either.
Yeah, so we got summer 2017, Splatoon 2. Splatoon 2 is everyone thought it was gonna be like an enhanced port of Splatoon, but this is actually a lot more than that. This is a proper sequel to Splatoon. It has like new story content. It has a lot more stages. I think it includes all the stages from the first game, but it has a lot of new stages. Weapons has some tweaks to them and all that stuff. So yeah, it's actually a proper sequel, which I was surprised by. And then we have in autumn 2017, we have Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
That we've already seen really in earlier trailers.
Yeah, I'm just feeling like, why is Skyrim a thing on this thing? Why is this coming? Anyway.
It's like Skyrim is gonna be going on forever. Skyrim will be it's gonna be released every year.
Yeah, and like I've seen quite a bit of footage of Skyrim, and I just think every time like this doesn't look fun. Like I really couldn't be less intrigued by Skyrim, honestly.
Yeah, I mean I guess if we had like, there's a lot of people who like it. I guess I've tried to get into it. I don't have the time. I feel it's just like it's a bit too heavy for me.
Yeah. So next up is the biggest game on the Switch which will be Super Mario Odyssey, coming in holiday 2017.
Nice.
Which we talked earlier. So in 2017, they also have Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Ultra Street Fighter 2, The Final Challengers, Minecraft, Sonic Mania, FIFA, I Am Setsuna, Steep, Siberia 3, NBA 2K, and Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Obviously,
why is Minecraft taking so long?
Yeah, that's a good question. Obviously, we're going to see a lot more on E3 this year. As we can see, like they have a pretty robust lineup until spring ends, and after that, it's a lot more like, yeah, we have games, but we don't really know. So we're obviously going to see a lot of games announced at E3, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I like that during the presentation when they presented FIFA, it was super serious. It was like, we're gonna bring the most sociable, the most played, the most best game
best
ever, the most best of all games. All the games you guys have made is inferior to FIFA. FIFA is the best game.
So we also have that weren't in this like picture. We have some other like notable releases for the Switch. I'm gonna list up some of them here. We have Dragon Quest XI and Dragon Quest X. We have Fire Emblem Warriors, Lego City Undercover, Minecraft Story Mode, Project Sonic 2017, Rayman Legends Definitive Edition.
That's gonna be epic.
Yeah, Shovel Knight. Let's see, what else do we have here? Stardew Valley. Yeah. Ukulele,
Basically.
obviously, maybe. We don't know about ukulele specifically, but yeah. So how do you feel about the game library generally of the Switch?
I mean, it's enough, I feel, actually, because it's like it has the games that sell the console. It has Zelda Breath of the Wild, it has Super Mario Odyssey. It also has some social games, and that's what the console is mainly going to be used for. It's going to be a social console, like the one to Switch.
Yeah.
And, I guess Super Bomberman is also a multiplayer game.
Yeah. It's one of Bomberman is kind of one of these showcase games where you can like bring 8 Switches together and play multiplayer on each separate screens, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I'm just really excited about the Switch. Like this is a console that you can like we could technically like let's say we were to we were like 4 people, you know, and we were to go somewhere and we can just sit down and everyone brings out their Switch and we can just play locally together on each other on our own Switch. We could play online with the Switch. We could have one Switch and we can just share controllers and play like so many different ways to play this system.
This is really a sociable gaming system, and I feel like while the other gaming systems like the Xbone and the PS4 has been going in one direction, I think maybe this is actually a preferable direction of what gaming should be.
Yeah, like honestly, like if this is actually obviously we know exactly what the system is now. There's not really anything up in the air anymore regarding the actual system itself, and I can pretty much already say that this is gonna be my favorite system of all time.
Yeah, this system is probably gonna change gaming forever.
Yeah, like if you just count hardware, like there's no system like this one. This is literally everything I want in a video game. Like being able to just sit at my desk and play the game and then just like pick it up and leave and still play the game. It's fucking awesome.
And if Nintendo would have chosen to go the other route and just go for hardware specs, they would always lose out because there's computers and there's Xbox and there's PS4. This was really the only option. Yeah,
like everyone's like, oh, I just wanted them to make a PS4. And that's like, no, you don't want that. Why would you want 3 consoles that do the exact same thing?
Yeah, and this is a much more modern gaming system because it's really like you can have one Switch, you can bring it to your friend, and you can both play. And it's just, I don't know, it's great.
Yeah.
It's hard to put it into words.
I really like everything they have done about this, about the Switch. It's obviously underpowered, but I don't think it matters really. Like everyone's like, oh, it's underpowered. It's gonna be fucking bad. I don't think it's a problem. The only problem I can find is the fact that it's not gonna be enough storage on it. I'm probably gonna have to either buy physical games, which I'm not really that much about, or I'm gonna have to use multiple SD cards, which I'm also not very excited to do.
No, yeah, that's true.
But at the same time, when it comes to physical games on my 3DS, the reason I don't like it is because I'm only carrying my 3DS. I'm not carrying any accessories or anything with it. I don't have a bag for it. But the thing with the Switch is that one's going to be a lot larger. You're going to need a bag for it to have all the things you need in it. And obviously you can carry the Switch on its own. But you're probably going to have a bag. And if you have a bag, you have slots for physical games. So that just fixes the main issue with physical games for me on a portable platform.
If this would have come out sooner, maybe so many game stores wouldn't have gone bankrupt or like shut down, I suppose.
Yeah, probably. So basically what I think I'm going to do with the Switch is that like the main games like Breath of the Wild and Mario, the games that I'm going to come back to, and like Mario Kart, like the games that, like the main stable games that I'm going to play multiple times or come back to, you know, they're going to be, I'm going to play them, buy them digitally. And then we have like the games that either have very large file sizes or games that I'm going to play once or something like that. I'm going to buy those physically.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Sounds
I'll just delete them and re-download them if I want to play them again. I don't know.
That's true. You can always do that.
Yeah.
That's actually an underrated thing to do, I guess.
Obviously, that depends on what their service is for saving and stuff like that. If if the save file is tied to the game itself, so if you delete the game, you delete your save file. That's not very fun. But if they have some kind of saved backup system, I think the 3DS actually has a save backup system. So if they have something like that implemented on the Switch, obviously, I think I'm probably gonna go all in on portable.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, we have two things left here. So one of these, we have the online services, and I don't want to talk too much about the online services because we don't really know that much about them yet.
Yeah, but they said one thing about it. Yeah.
What we do know about the online services is that it's gonna be paid, but it's gonna be free, basically until fall 2017. So it's gonna be free until like September, October, around there, and that's when you're gonna have to start paying. We don't know what the price will be, but this service will include a free NES or SNES game every month. However, it's not like PlayStation Plus where you get to play the games as long as you're a member, or as Xbox Live Gold, games with Gold, where you get the games forever. These games are only playable during the month they're assigned. So if you like the game after the month is over, you're gonna have to play them. You're gonna have to buy them.
Yeah. So this is, I guess it's good, but it's
definitely
it.
Like objectively, it's definitely the worst free game service among the consoles. Since you're not actually getting any games, you're just kind of renting them for a month.
Yeah.
And you can't even decide which game you want to rent.
But it's good for Nintendo. They'll get cash and people will start playing the games, and then they'll be like, I kind of want to continue, so I'll buy it.
Yeah.
I suppose. But maybe they'll change it.
Yeah. All right. So we have the last news story here. Damn, this is just a grind with all these news stories.
So many news stories.
Yeah. So the last story here is that Fire Emblem Nintendo Direct is coming next week on January 18th. And presumably, they said this will focus on Fire Emblem Warriors. However, I wouldn't be surprised if they're actually going to talk about the Fire Emblem mobile game that's supposed to come out in 2017 as well.
Exactly, that's true. We haven't heard anything more about it than that it's going to be coming out.
Yeah, and maybe we'll even hear about some kind of new Fire Emblem game for the Switch, like the next mainline Fire Emblem game.
But I mean, let's be honest, the Fire Emblem Warriors, it has to be the same thing as Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah,
right?
Obviously. Like it's Hyrule Warriors with Fire Emblem. And I'm really excited about that, actually. Like Hyrule Warriors was pretty alright. Like it was a cool game, it was fun. And this time around it's gonna be with Fire Emblem characters. And there are
much more fitting.
many characters.
And everyone is a fighter, basically. It's so fitting.
Yeah, and personally, what I think they're going to do with the game is, if you haven't played Fire Emblem, every character is kind of assigned to a class. You know, like every character almost has like a class. There are like
there is the paladin and there is the great knight.
Yeah, there are different classes. What I think they're going to do, since Fire Emblem has so many characters, what I think they're going to do is they're going to assign the characters to different classes. That way, they could have like a huge amount of characters.
That's a good idea.
So basically, like Marth and Chrom would basically play the exact same way.
Yeah.
For example.
Maybe have some different stats or something that makes them unique, but still have the same moves.
Yeah, but basically, like they're overall the same, and that way they can please as many Fire Emblem fans as possible. Because like Fire Emblem has like 30 characters per game.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why Smash has so many Fire Emblem characters, because the Fire Emblem characters, there are so many of them, and there are so many that are eligible for a game like this.
Exactly. Everyone is just a sage or a fighter or a warrior, and it's so fitting.
Yeah, like everyone's eligible to be in the game, unlike a lot of franchises, and that's why there are so many of them in Smash, and that's why this game makes so much sense.
I'm going to go ahead and say that this game is going to be 5 times... No, I'm not going to say 5 times, but it's going to be better than Hyrule Warrior. Basically, it's going to be really good. It's going to be solid.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty good game. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the news. 1 hour and 7 minutes. Oh, maybe it's a little bit different for you. I mean, we've been cutting and stuff. So, all right. We'll see you with the topic after this. All right, it's time for the topic. Today's topic is Switch Prediction Roundup. So, last week, we made some predictions about what we thought would happen during the presentation and the information around it. And right now we're going to round up all of our presentations and see who won. So just to, if you didn't listen to the last episode, we had we have 7 main predictions.
Yes.
2 crazy predictions and 1 prize prediction. So the main predictions were worth 1 point each. The crazy predictions were worth 2 points each, and the prize prediction would be
1 point, I guess.
Yeah, it would be 1 point and delivered to the one that was closest to the actual price of the system. So let's just go through. Let's start with. Let's start with you. So, what was your first prediction?
So basically, Final Fantasy 15 is going to come for the Switch in September or in fall.
That did not happen. So 0 points for that. And
Fuck.
Yes, what's your second prediction?
Shouldn't we have your first?
No, let's just go through all of yours right away.
No, let's have your first.
Okay, so my first prediction was that Mother 3 would be revealed and it would launch in Q2 2017, and it didn't happen, so I got 0 points.
Oh, that's too bad. Okay, so my second is Super Mario Switch is the launch title.
And it was obviously not a launch title.
Oh, fuck.
It's coming out in holiday 2017, so you were wrong.
No, yeah, that's true.
So you got 0 points for that. So my second prediction was Breath of the Wild will be a launch game, and it was. So I got a point for that.
Yeah, that's true. That's good. And we're glad it's a launch game. It's a great thing.
Yeah.
So my third prediction was that Super Smash Brothers Switch would launch as a launch title. And it's not even confirmed.
Yeah, that sucks. So yeah, 0 points for that. My third prediction was that Nintendo would show off alternate Joy-Cons, and we discussed this before the show. They technically did, but it was not the way I intended it. I thought they would have like different kinds of Joy-Cons with like different layouts and stuff like that. But since they did show off Joy-Cons with different colors, I'm getting 0.5 points on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is your fourth prediction?
Yeah, we're gonna continue with the fails here and go with Pokemon Prism in spring.
Yeah, and that obviously didn't happen.
What? No.
So
I wanted that.
Yeah, so roundup, you have 0 points. I have 1 point.
Yeah, 1.5, I think. No.
Yeah, 1.5, right?
Yeah, 1.5.
So, my next prediction was that Retro Studios game will be revealed, and it's not Metroid or Donkey Kong. And Retro Studios game wasn't revealed, so 0 points. Technically, it's not Metroid or Donkey Kong because it's nothing, but but no points for that.
5 points. Mario Party 11 for Switch, September. That's my fifth or sixth?
Fifth prediction.
Yeah, my fifth prediction. And no, we did not see any Mario Party. But if they happen to confirm it like this next week, they're like, oh, we forgot. Mario Party 11. I get 10 points. That happens.
All right, so my fifth prediction was that Super Mario Switch was officially revealed, and it was as Super Mario Odyssey, and it would launch in fall 2017, and I was right about that. I mean, fall.
Yeah. I think it's correct.
Fall is close enough to holiday.
It's winter basically.
Yeah, I mean
still.
they kind of overlap. So
yeah, my sixth prediction.
So I got 1 point for that.
Yeah. So you have 2.5 now.
Yes.
And I have 0 points. and here comes the one that will grab all the points. Because it gives points even if it's not true. F-Zero NX, the best F-Zero ever launch title.
Didn't happen.
Yeah, it's not true. It didn't happen.
So are you going into your backup predictions or?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you didn't, basically we both had 5 predictions for the show last week, but we also have backups in case we would have similar predictions. And since we both had too many predictions, we just kind of added our backups into the main predictions. So my first backup prediction, which is my sixth main prediction, was Pikmin 4 would be announced and come out in summer 2017. And that
didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
No. And my first backup is Dark Souls would be re-released for the Switch, and it didn't happen either.
Yeah. So, and my then my other prediction here is that Mario Kart 8 is Double Dash 2, and it would come out on launch day, and that was both wrong.
No.
Technically, like Mario Kart 8 has some elements of Double Dash, but it's not Double Dash 2. So. All right,
no points.
Let's head into crazy predictions.
Final Fantasy 16 Switch exclusive.
And that obviously didn't happen. All right, so my crazy prediction was F-Zero Switch, and that didn't happen.
So my second prediction was Nintendo Virtual Reality headset. It happened. Didn't you guys see? It happened.
Yeah, no, it didn't happen. Hey, by the way, I just started thinking about this right now. Didn't I switch my F-Zero Switch prediction? Since
I think
you
so.
predicted F-Zero Switch?
Yeah.
So, I don't know,
so.
Didn't I change that?
Did you get points for the things you changed it to?
I don't know. I don't remember what I changed it to. I guess we're going to have to listen back to the last episode to find out. Yeah. I don't know.
Let's see if it matters in the end.
Yeah. So what's your next crazy prediction?
I think I have said mine. I had 2.
And my second crazy prediction was Miitomo will be the base for Mii Maker, and they didn't say anything about that. So, I mean, it's technically up in the air, but we don't know yet.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 16 might be a Switch exclusive. Probably will happen, but we don't know yet.
Yeah. All right. So price. My price prediction was that there would be two versions, one at $249 and one at $299, and the one at $299 would include a game, and that was obviously all wrong. I mean, there were technically two versions, and it did cost $299. However, it did not include a game. So if your prediction is closer to the actual thing, then my prediction is you will get the point. So what is your price?
So my prediction was $308.
No.
So I'm the closest.
Your guess was $299. We corrected that because $308 would never be the price for anything.
I just wanted to be. I thought that you would say maybe 309, so I was like, yeah, I'll pick 308.
Anyway, your prediction was $299 and $249.
Yeah.
So, and since there were two versions, so you're right about that. There were, however, one of them did not include a game, and they're both the same. And one of them was $299, and it was not two different price points. But you were closer to the actual thing, so you get the point for that.
Yeah.
So what is the final score? What's your final score?
I think I have 1 point.
Yes, you have 1 point, and I have 2.5. So I win.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. I won the Switch predictions. So, yeah, that's the Switch predictions show.
Yeah, and you're the winner. I think your predictions were pretty good, actually. You had the two that was actually really on point, the Zelda and the Super Mario Switch. So it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it for the Switch prediction roundup.
Predictions.
And I guess we'll jump straight into the pitch after this. It's time for the pitch, and as I said in the intro, the pitch is a little bit different this week. Instead of actually pitching a game, we're going to pitch Nintendo on some games they should get on the Switch.
Yeah.
So
Whee!
I'm going to list up 5 games that I want to see on the Nintendo Switch, and then we'll go with your 5.
Yeah.
So the first one here is Overcooked. Overcooked is a game that we played on the channel. It's on PC, PS4, and Xbox One, I think. And Overcooked is an awesome cooperative and competitive local multiplayer game. And that's exactly
a really good idea.
That's exactly what fits on the Switch. And the controls are simple enough that you can just put your Switch up in the tabletop mode in fucking a restaurant or whatever, and just hand a Joy-Con over to the person next to you, and you can just play Overcooked.
It's perfect.
Yeah, the time limit on the things are 5 minutes. It's perfect for just something to just sit down and play. Overcooked is a perfect Nintendo Switch game.
Yeah, I agree. It's actually a really good idea.
Yeah. So my next prediction.
Should I take my prediction, or should we take?
No,
yours first?
I'll take mine, all my 5, and then I'll go to you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. So the next game on my list is Gang Beasts. Have you seen this game?
No, I have not seen this game.
So Gang Beasts is this physics-based brawling game. Basically, you have these people that just they look like they're just bugging around. It looks really weird, but it's like this couch co-op game basically, and you just kind of fight each other. The goal of the game is to kind of throw the peoples off the edge of the fighting place.
I see now. This game is a few YouTubers have played it.
Yeah, and the game is just perfect for the Switch. And again, I don't know the control scheme or anything like that, but it looks simple enough for something that you can just throw on the Joy-Con controllers and play anywhere.
It's very good. It's actually a very good idea. It's very
Yeah.
similar to Overcooked in the way that it can be controlled very simply.
Yeah. All right, so then the next game I want to see on the Nintendo Switch is Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So this is a game we've also played on this channel, and why I think Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes would fit so well on the Switch is that it's a portable device. So
Yeah.
the premise of Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes is that you have 2 or more players. One player is basically holding the bomb, or has the bomb in front of them on the actual TV screen or computer monitor or VR headset, which is the main place to play the game. And the person who is the bomb diffuser is not allowed to see the bomb diffusal manual, which all the other players will have. And the game is all about the bomb diffuser explaining what the bomb looks like so that the bomb experts can tell the bomb diffuser what to do to defuse the bomb.
Yeah. Basically. So how would you imagine that would work? Because we only have one screen, right?
Yeah, but obviously, like, and that's the way you use it already. You either print it out or you put it on an iPad or something, or a computer screen.
By the way, don't the Switch have a touchpad?
Yeah,
Is it the screen that's
it has a
touchable?
touch screen. It does have a
Yeah,
touch screen.
it does have a
Capacitive
touch
touch
screen.
screen. Multi-touch touch screen and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, I just imagine you have this like a living room, and one person sits in like a corner of the living room, you know, sitting and can only see the screen by its own, and then all the other people have like the bomb defusal manual on the table and all this stuff, and they are not allowed to see the screen. The person with the screen is not allowed to see the manuals.
Yeah, that would be pretty good actually.
Yeah.
Pretty fun. Then you can sit in the same room. Or in different rooms. It's
Yeah.
cool.
So the next game I want to see on Nintendo Switch is Hasbro Game Channel.
Okay, what is this? What is this? Isn't Hasbro making toys?
Yeah, so I mean, Hasbro makes toys, they make tabletop games and all that stuff. So Ubisoft released Hasbro Games Channel in, I think, 2014 on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and I think PC, I don't know. And what this is basically Monopoly, Risk, Trivial Pursuit, and some other games. And you're playing them on the TV. And this is perfect for the Switch.
Yeah.
Like, you can just, like, you basically have portable Monopoly.
You have
It's
every game
perfect.
you want to have. It's like you don't have to go out and buy Monopoly or whatever you want to play. You
Yeah.
can just, let's just fire up the Switch and play whatever.
Yeah, like, you could even just, if you just bring your dock, like, you're at, like, some kind of party or whatever, like, and you just want to play a game together, you just kind of set up the dock, set up the screen, give people controllers, and now you're playing Monopoly on the TV.
Yeah.
Or you can even
just,
put it up in tabletop mode, and you're just playing Monopoly on the table.
Yeah, exactly. You can put the Switch on the table without plugging it into the hub and use the touch screen.
Yeah.
That would work too.
It would fit perfectly. You have these other games like Risk and Trivial Pursuit, and it would be like, it's all based on local multiplayer. It would be perfect.
You know, this is actually one of my ideas too. I had the same thing because it's so smart. It's like I wrote down, let's see, platform for having several board games. That's so. I mean, it's like you can just have any board game you want. It's
Yeah.
cool.
So my last game I want to see on. Oh, I actually have like an honorable mention to start with, and that's Guitar Hero Live. It's a game that I would personally not buy for the Switch because I already have all the accessories for for my PS4. However, if I were to buy Guitar Hero Live today, when the Switch was out, I would have bought it for the Switch. Like, that's a game, that's a portable game. Like, you can just bring it with you.
Yeah. Play Guitar Hero anywhere you go.
Yeah,
Like,
and you can just bring
with a
it to
friend.
people's houses and bring the guitars and all that stuff. It would
That's
be
really
amazing.
cool, actually.
So, and yeah, my last game on the list is Jackbox Party Pack.
Jackbox Party Pack.
Do you know what this game is?
No, I don't. But is it good?
Have you heard about Quiplash?
No.
This is probably like one of the best local multiplayer games I have ever seen. Basically, what it is that you set up. It's on like PS4, it's on PC and Xbox One and all that.
Yeah.
And you take your phone and you go to like jackbox.tv or something like that, and then on the TV where the game is running, there's this code that will go up on screen. And you go into the website, you enter this code on your phone, and then you use your phone as a controller. And basically what you do is that in a game like Quiplash, for example, which is my favorite among the games, you will basically get a bunch of questions. And everyone gets different questions. And what you have to do on your phone is write the answer that you think is the funniest answer to the question. So, as an example, like, what do you call your friend's butt? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of write some joke, like some quip, like, what do you think is the funniest answer? And then you get the most points if most people pick your answer.
So it kind of is like card games against humanity, but with custom answers.
Yeah, kind of like that. So
And
yeah,
you use your phones, so that's pretty cool.
yeah, and it's obviously the more fun if you have like a lot of people, like 8 people. I think 8 people is the most you can have.
This is perfect for the Switch.
Yeah, it's fucking perfect. I love it so much.
You have the Switch on the table and every answer just shows up. And you get to have your 6-hour battery time because this is not going to take much at all.
Yeah. I mean, all of these games would be fucking perfect. And I have bought some of them already. I would definitely buy them on the Switch again. Like maybe even Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
So, what else? But yeah, Jackbox Party Pack has some other mini games as well. Quiplash is my favorite among them, and there has been Jackbox Party Pack 2, and Party Pack 3. So I would think either they are porting Party Pack 3 to the Switch, or Party Pack 4 comes to the Switch or something like that. But like, if the developers of this game do not see how perfect the Switch is for this, I don't know. Like this game has to come to the Nintendo Switch. It just
And
has
this is
to.
what's so great with the Switch.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not only games, it's board games and everything.
Yeah.
It's like gaming comes back to its original nature and
Yeah, like
it's just glorious.
like when you have these like game nights and all this stuff, like this is literally everything you would need. The Switch would be the one little box you need to have hours and hours and hours of fun. And
This is like the best thing ever.
Yeah, like you would have Mario Kart, you would hopefully have like Smash Bros, and you would have all these games that we just talked about, and you could have like, I don't know, everything.
Yeah, it's everything. It's like board games, Smash Bros. You have Mario Kart. You have 1, 2, 3 Switch.
Yeah,
and
1, 2
everything.
Switch and like ARMS, or like there would be so many of these awesome multiplayer games.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you look at the Xbox, it's like you don't have many multiplayer games that you can play with normal people.
Yeah.
It's like do you have Call of Duty? Yeah, we'll play online. Okay, later, bro.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
It's so unsocial, and there is very few multiplayer games, and even fewer who you can play in the same place. And even if you can play on the same system, it's not good, it's not fun. You have to have experience with it. This is something that anyone can just take out to their friends and play together because it's so intuitive.
Yeah, and like just imagine like, oh, you're at like a friend's place and you're like, oh, what are we gonna do? Like, like maybe you've been like having fun for a while and like, oh, what do we do now? You know, and you're like, oh, we can play this game. Like, oh no, it's at my house. And that would, and like obviously like, oh, let's just go to your house. But what you could do instead is just, oh, here's my Switch. Let's just fucking play it now.
Yeah,
it's fucking amazing. Like, I'm
it's
so
really
excited for this system.
There is so many uses because this is one of the best things. The social aspect is one of the best things. Should I go through my predictions or my wanted games?
Yeah.
For the system.
So Oscar has more like concepts of games rather than actual games.
Yeah. So the first concept I had was any RPG game, really. Any RPG game, because RPG games takes a lot of time to get through. Often they don't. I mean, some of them have really much focus on the graphics, but they take a lot of time.
We have RPGs coming to the Switch. We have, I mean, Zelda is kind of an RPG, but not really an RPG. But we have a Dragon Quest 11 is coming to the Switch.
Exactly. We have Xenoblade is kind of an RPG game.
Yeah.
We also have Skyrim. So what I wrote down on this is Tales of Grace, because it was on the Wii, I think. And I really like the Tales of series. I have not played Tales of Graces, but I think it would be really good because you can spend like 60 hours on it if you can take it with you or just move around.
All right.
Basically. If you are like living with your parents and you have their television like I had when I was younger, then it's hard to play a game that takes a long time using television. But if you have the Switch that you can remove and play by yourself, it's much better.
Yeah, it's a good point. That's a good point.
So the second game that I took up is God of War or Doom.
All right.
So
please explain.
That's two, I guess.
Two very different games.
The point of this is that
you want mature games on the Switch.
I want mature games, exactly. So I want something that's God of War is pretty mature, Doom is pretty bloody, and so on. And it would really like boost the Switch, I think. It's
I want to see some shooters on the Switch because I really want to see how good the actual controller is because a shooter is the real test for seeing how good a controller is for a game. Like, if you can actually handle a game like Doom well on the Nintendo Switch controller, then it's actually a good controller.
Then you have a viable, like, FPS console.
Yeah.
No, first-person shooter.
Yeah.
I just realized that first-person shooter and frame rate is the same thing. Frames per second.
Yeah. FPS.
Okay. How many FPS do you have on your console?
I have 2.
I have 2 FPS. Call of War. No, wait. Call of Duty and Halo. So, my third concept or game is indie games, basically.
So you want to see the Switch have a strong indie presence?
Yes. And I think there's definitely potential for it because indie games often experiment with different game mechanics, right?
Yeah.
And we have a touchscreen, and we have controllers, and we have controllers that actually have motion controls, and we have some kind of camera that can see if you make a scissor or a paper or a stone when you do rock, paper, scissors. So I think that a lot of indie games should be able to prosper on this console.
Yeah.
So the fourth one is kind of for the lols. It's Rayman 3, but instead of using the controls, you punch the controls to throw your hands and punch things in the game.
I mean, this is something that I think a lot of people are not really talking about with this game is that this is like the first time something like that is actually possible. because you have 2 sticks on the controllers. So you can move and you can change the camera and all that, and you can punch. Like you don't have to like switch between like, oh, now I'm gonna aim the camera and like blah blah, like on Wii.
Now I'm gonna punch.
Yeah. Like, oh, hold this button to change the camera angle and shit. Like you have an analog stick for it. And this is like the first time you can actually have something like that and actually work.
Yeah. It would be really good. I guess the Wii probably could have done it too, but this is really good. So my 5th, I think, I put down like a few concepts, but let's talk about WarioWare.
Oh my god,
Switch.
we so need a WarioWare, and we also need WarioWare on mobile. We really need WarioWare on mobile.
Yeah. So, I mean, on mobile, you could use a lot of features, like you could shake the phone or something and use the touchscreen.
Yeah.
But you can do that on the Switch too.
Yeah, and the Switch has a lot of different hardware that WarioWare could just play around with.
It would be pretty much amazing.
Yeah. Like you have a multi-touch screen for the first time on a Nintendo platform. You have that IR motion camera. You have, what's it called? The HD Rumble. You have... the motion controls and all the different controller configurations. Like it's ripe for WarioWare and the Rhythm Heaven.
Yeah, exactly.
So I want to see either of those 2 games on the Switch.
It's gonna be amazing. So that was my 5. I actually also write down, like I said earlier, platform for having several board games. So I think it's fun that you actually brought that up because it's really something that fits the console.
Yeah. Anything to wrap this up?
I think the main strong point of the Switch is going to be how much freedom it gives the developers to make games for it, because it has motion controls, it has the portable thing going on. It has so many features, so you can really get creative with the designs of the games. And that's what I think has been the major problem in the gaming industry, is that games have gone stale.
Yeah.
There have been a lot of first-person shooters and such on the PS4 and the Xbox. And the Wii U didn't sell much, so we didn't have much on that front. But we had a lot of first-person shooters, no party games. Just the gaming scene was growing stale, and now I think a lot of people are going to be attracted to the Switch and developing for the Switch to get some of that creativity out. And I hope that the Switch sells enough so that actually developers can, because I think they want to develop for it. I just want them to have a reason economically to do it also.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that I hope it sells good, so they get both those reasons.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's pretty much it. Anything to wrap up the episode?
Do you have anything?
No, not really. I think we're done. I think we're pretty much done.
Yeah.
Actually, let's end on this note. Are you buying You're not buying a Switch, right?
I always said I was not going to buy the Switch.
Yeah, but that's mostly because of financial reasons. Why, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm probably going to be moving in the near future. I don't have the cash, but after having seen now, I feel I should buy a Switch, but probably later.
So basically, your situation is you're going to buy it as soon as you can.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm going to buy it on launch. I've already pre-ordered mine. I have like a setup. I've thought about like what things I would buy for it, and like obviously since the accessories are so expensive, I don't know if I can actually buy all of these things. But the things that I would like to buy are obviously the Switch itself. I want to buy a separate docking station. I want to buy a total of 3 Pro controllers, but I think I'm going to start with 1 since they're so expensive. But I want to have 3 in the end. Maybe even a second set of what are they called? The Joy-Cons. Actually,
so you can get that all red or all blue action
and
going
also
on.
you have like games like Arms, right, where you need 2 sets of controllers.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe I think the most optimal set of controllers in order to be able to have 4 players, and maybe even more, like it would be to have like 2 sets of Joy-Cons, 2 grips, and then 2 Pro controllers.
2 sets of Joy-Cons, 2 grips, and 2. Yeah.
Yeah, then you have basically you can let 4 people play with a fully assembled controller, and you can even detach the Joy-Cons, and you can make that into 4 players, and now you have a 6-player available for 6 players.
Yeah.
And if you didn't want to have a Pro controller at all, you could technically have 4 sets of Joy-Cons and make that into 8 controllers. But I want to have Pro controllers, so.
Yeah, Pro controllers are great.
Yeah, and the Joy-Con and Joy-Con grip sets, they're even more expensive, so. But yeah, I think.
Yeah, cash is gonna flow.
Yeah, so I think what I'm going to have is the Joy-Cons that you get with the system, and at launch I'm gonna have obviously the Joy-Con, the Pro controller, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, the biggest SD card I can find.
Yeah.
And maybe a secondary docking station, depending on financially if I can do it or not. So that's gonna be my launch wish list for the Switch, and eventually build up to get 3 Pro controllers, because you just need to have more controllers.
Yeah, it's always been the case with the Nintendo products, because they're social. You need lots of controllers.
Yeah, and especially like when Mario Kart's coming out and Smash Bros specifically, like you just need to have more controllers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be semi-costly, but it's like if you have like this console, you can just invite people and you can play. If you have friends that are gamers too, it's gonna be epic.
Yeah. And actually, another point I want to end on is that a lot of people are like, oh, this is gonna be another Wii U. Like, oh, it's a fucking failure. You know, like, oh, it's not powerful as the other consoles. It's not gonna be able to run the third-party games. And this kind of sound like pretty bad, but honestly, I really don't care if this is just Wii U 2.
No, what do you mean?
Like, I really don't give a shit if this is just Wii U 2, because I really enjoyed the Wii U. The Wii U had like a pretty solid amount of first-party games that are some of the best games they've ever made, and obviously, since they're not making 3DS games as well, hopefully they're going to discontinue it in like this year or next year. This means that Nintendo will have all their attention on the Switch. So the worst case scenario for the Switch will be Wii U times 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that is fucking awesome. Like I'm
happy
really
with
excited for that. Like, if that's the worst case scenario for the system, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's true. It's like they have they made games for the 3DS and the Wii U before, and actually the Wii U had a few games that made me want to buy the console, but they kind of got a bad reputation to begin with.
Yeah,
I think it's mainly because
it was like a meme. Like, I'm not gonna buy a Wii U. That was like a meme. So
yeah. It's like the world is ready for the Switch, and it's not the Wii 3. It's gloriously good that it's not another Wii U in name, but that it still takes the good parts of the Wii U and applies them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a more mature Wii U in some way that actually can.
And
it's not a Wii U, but it's good.
Yeah, and this also has advantages over the Wii U, is because the Wii U was a system, like that was a console. This is something I actually want. Like, this is something I want above the games themselves. Like, I bought the Wii U for the games, obviously.
Yeah.
And like the gamepad looks cool. Like it looked cool. Like, oh, you can play off the TV and whatever. But the Switch is actually a system I want. This is a system that looks nice. It's a system that actually looks really, really well made. And I love that the controllers are like swappable out, and there are different kind of ways to play the game. Like hardware wise,
Yeah.
like I would buy this console based on the hardware alone.
I mean, this is more than a console. It's more than a gaming application console. This can be something that can be used for many things.
Yeah.
And if we look at the design, the Wii U, I don't especially like the design. It feels big.
Yeah, it looks like a
clunky,
Fisher
and-
Price tablet. That's what everyone's calling it.
Yeah, but this thing looks slick, and we know that the technology in it is really well adjusted to its size. It's the latest technology shit.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good basically. So this has a more quality to it.
Yeah. So like if you look at that, like the fact that this can't be worse than the Wii U, it at the least is going to be Wii U times 2. And like if you look at the 3DS library is even better than the Wii U library. So if you just add the 3DS library and the Wii U library and put them together, that's the worst case scenario for this system, and that's really fucking good.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be great, and I really hope so.
Yeah, and the fact that the actual hardware is good and it embodies what I love about video games is the fact that you can play like this is exactly what I wanted and what I've been missed so much about having a PS4 or a PC. The fact that you can you can sit and play it, and then you can just something as simple as just bringing it to the coffee table.
Yeah,
Like bringing it out of your room. Like just as simple as like being able to go to the bathroom with the system. Like something as small as that. The fact that it's not like bolted down in at your entertainment center. You can just bring it with you, even if it's just a short distance, just all the way to the kitchen or like another room in your house, like, or even as far as across the world. Like the fact that it's not just bolted down in your room, that's what I love so much about the system.
yeah,
And based on that alone is why I'm buying the system. The fact that it's gonna have fucking Zelda and Mario and who knows what else coming to the system is
if this
amazing.
is a success, also Nintendo is gonna get money to just publish shit ton of good games, and
Yeah.
we know that when they make games, they're fucking amazing at it. It's
Yeah.
like you see this the Mario trailer. I really like that one. I really thought it reminded me of Nintendo 64. When I saw the real world part, I thought, yeah, that's another painting in the 64 world. And I thought, like, that's pretty okay. That's pretty cool. You can interact with the environment, jump over whatever. People had like a rope. They did this thing. This is just like another cool stage. I didn't think, oh my God, it's Sonic. I thought like, oh my God, this is another cool painting in Super Mario 64.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the case actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a lot of faith in Nintendo when it comes to game development.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I'm really excited for the Switch, and I think we have like solid evidence that this is going to be a good system. Like even without third-party support, like this is going to be a very solid system. And like everyone's saying, like, oh, it's not gonna have third-party support. Like, yeah, 3DS had tons of third-party support, like from Japanese third-party. Like it's just Western third-party that's not on board. And as long as we have everyone that made games for the 3DS making games for the Switch, which seems to be the case, by the way, we're golden. Like we're fine.
Yeah.
And obviously, it would be better if Ubisoft or EA or Activision stay the course, but we don't know yet. And I mean, I hope they do. I hope they don't just like, oh, let's port fucking Mass Effect to it and hope it sells. Like that's not gonna work. You have to make games for the system, specifically.
Yeah. But I mean, when EA came forth and said they were releasing FIFA on the system, I mean, it seems like a good omen.
Yeah.
I think.
Let's hope for the best. And yeah, that's it for our Nintendo Switch extravaganza episode.
Yeah,
That was a lot of Nintendo Switch talk.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, this should just be
Switch.
We should just change the name of this podcast to Switch Talk.
Yeah, we should just make a Switch mention counter. Like how many times was Switch mentioned? That would be so annoying. And every time somebody mentions Switch, it's just like ding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we ever hire an editor, we can do that. Like your job is to find every time we say Switch and put a pling on it.
Good luck.
Put a pling. All right, yeah. So if you like this video, please like, share,
Subscribe.
yeah, rate 5 stars.
Yes, rate 5 stars. That was times.
Yeah.
And press the notification buttons to see when the next video.
Yes, you have to press the bell. Like you have to bell the video. So you get notifications when my videos are released. Also, please go check out the last episode of DL Arcade. We played
Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, we played Super Smash. We had played a 10-minute Smash. Oscar and I. It was really fun, and it's really intense. I play as Little Mac. He plays as Captain Falcon. More intense battles are rare, and yeah. Go watch that video. It's really fun. And maybe DL Arcade comes back in the future. I really don't know yet. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.